I'm totally in the Christmas spirit, and I am so excited to be able to share this little project that I have in mind. Probably keep the 20th and the 15th like there, and then do some journaling. I'm going to keep that in the pocket. So it's pretty much just going to be the 4 special days of December that I really want to remember. Hey, that actually rhymes! I'm turning into Dr. Seuss here for the holidays. So anywho, just like Cindy Lou Who. All right, Nazi, you gotta stop. Okay. You guys, I'm so excited. Finally, Christmas is coming to Amity Bloom. I know I'm a few weeks late. I know. But it's never too late to get into the holiday spirit in your journaling. I have my journal ready and prepped. You'll notice it's a small little journal, basically 6 papers folded in half. I've made some advent strips, and I have a little mini envelope, so of course we're going to have some fun today. I have an idea for those of us who are too busy to do December daily, yet you still want to document in December those really special days in a really fun way. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Amity Bloom. My name is Nazi. Thank you so much for spending your day with me. I am back. It feels like it's been a long time. I want to apologize for not posting as much as I wanted. I wanted to do Vlogmas where I shared a video every day, but that was just not possible with how behind I am with projects and journals and things that I want to create. However, I am so thrilled to finally be able to share with you guys the holiday edition of printables that will be in my shop. Just like with everything, I like to do and offer 2 different designs. So one is more Christmas themed with the traditional colors, and the other one is papers that actually designed for the journals that I will be creating in a few weeks. And it's my interpretation of like a French Christmas. I am in the Christmas spirit, as you'll see. I have this cute little cutting board that I purchased from the thrift store. I love things like this that are very neutral themed, so you can have them all year round, and I love trees. So this is so cute. I'm totally in the Christmas spirit, and I am so excited to be able to share this little project that I have in mind. So given the fact that we're pretty much in the 2nd week of December, I know, my deepest apologies for that. I wish I shared this project in November, but I'm a bit behind. However, with my journaling in December, it's honestly just like every other month. I feel like there's a lot of pressure involved in December with journaling and doing something on a daily basis, but it's honestly just like any other month, and in reality, it's a lot busier than most months that we've had previously. However, I want to document my December the way that I feel is best for my style. Since we are in December, I wanted to make it a little bit more festive and interactive for me. I don't want to lose interest. Since it is a small book, there's honestly just 6 pages in here. You'll notice these are just regular little pages, a junk journal style, using pages that I would have originally thrown away. I'm going to put them in this little book. And this little journal is going to become an Advent booklet. So let me put my pages aside while I show you the papers for this collection before I start cutting into them. So for the Christmas papers that are more on the traditional colors of Christmas, I wanted to keep a really lovely color palette of reds, pinks, mints, and greens. This one is one of my favorites because it reminds me of knitting. I've been knitting for a year now, and I think it's important for this time of year to get inspired by more than just Santa Claus and Christmas trees. I want to put the essence of what I love around the holiday and Christmas season with my papers. So you can still see that pattern here up at the top, and then you have a vintage pattern on the bottom. So you'll notice 2 of the papers can be used for Christmas, and then 2 of them can be used all year round if you really wanted to. All of the colors go really well together. You can fold them in half, you can cut them to make individual pockets or tags. I love these little sets of papers. Now let me show you the ones that I created for the journals that I'm going to be making. And these papers melt my heart. They're everything that I love into a paper set, essentially. Sticking to that same inspiration of Scandinavian prints. Couldn't be more thrilled with the papers and how they came about. This one is just so amazing. I want to create a journal cover with this so badly, but I need to focus and I need to create the journals first, and then I'll make my own. This one, I love the script. You have a little bit of that Norwegian Scandinavian pattern and then a really lovely floral, because who says you can't have florals in December? they can still live on through our papers and through our journals. These papers you'll actually see me use a lot of in the upcoming journals. This is a sneak peek to the color palette, and the journals that I'm making, since I'm pretty much halfway through December, I don't want them to be Christmas based. I want them to incorporate some Christmas colors, but journals that you can use all year round. And I can't wait to share those with you guys. So those will probably be ready probably like the last week of December, if I'm being honest, hopefully sooner. So this is the ephemera laid out that coordinates with the colors of the papers. You will be getting one envelope that looks like this. It's so cute with the little berries and the writing. You can fold it up, use it as an envelope for your journaling, and these little ephemera pieces fit inside of the envelope as well. So I love these so much, and I can't wait to use those in my December journaling. And then you also get, they're pretty much like list pads that I created for you that you can put into your planner and into your journal. So you have some space for writing and then some really lovely script. You of course have a little wish list. This would be lovely to put on top of a journal, like the front cover, because it already has Christmas written on it, and then you could put 2019 or 2020 for future Christmases. So I think that's really lovely. And then you have some labels. So you have this decorative label to add a little pocket to something. This lovely, I just can't get enough of this one. This one's probably my most favorite label that I've ever made because of the design and the color. And then you have a blank label that you can use for journaling as well. And then you also have some journal cards that I created that you can journal on the inside. You can put these in pockets in your journals or create little tip-ins with them. This one has a really lovely little design on it, and it says, "May the Christmas season fill your home with joy, your heart with love, and your life with laughter," which I think is what we need to focus on during this time of the year. It's not the presents, it's not the parties, it's not any of that. It's being with your loved ones, your family, your friends, yourself, and being content with the end of the year and being excited for what will come in the new year. Then you also have this one that says Merry Christmas to do some journaling on Christmas Day, and then another little card to do some more journaling. I love these because they're so functional. I really want to continue making more of these because this actually is what I use the most in my journals, just normal journaling cards that already have a design on them that I can simply just write some words down. Then, of course, I couldn't create a Christmas-themed printable without some gift tags. Now, these are tags that you can print out and include in gifts or use them in your December journaling. I mean, you can interpret them in so many ways. They're pretty much just tags. You can hole punch them on the top as well. This one matches that really lovely paper. This one says Holly on it. This one says December. This one says Be Joyful. And then this one has that same design from the paper that I showed you earlier. So I love these little tags. They're so much fun to use in your journal. These are the papers that I created using more of a French neutral color palette for the holidays. It comes with coordinating ephemera, beautiful labels, and journaling cards. The paper is actually designed for the upcoming journals that I'm going to be making. I want to create my own scrapbook papers to make my journals even more special, and I wanted to share these same papers with you guys. For the ephemera, it comes with a little envelope, that lovely script, and then the ephemera to go inside of the envelope is this little journaling card and this tag that says foliage. And just like with my other ephemera pieces, the ephemera measures and fits perfectly inside of the envelope, just to make your life easier, as I know working with ephemera tends to be a little stressful when things don't fit. I've also made some journaling note sheets. I like to call this my journal stationery because you can use this time and time again in your planner and in your journaling to jot down notes. Kind of like little list pads, but individual sheets that you can use year-round. And then I couldn't create an ephemera kit without some labels that match the color palette. These are by far the thing that I use the most in my journaling. So I wanted to create some really beautiful designs. And then I wanted to create some foliage tags with some beautiful, beautiful images in the center. Now these are larger than your typical tag. A tag normally is about this size. So you'll notice for comparison, and it's usually kind of hard to find tags that are a little bit larger. These I love so much because you can put them in your traveler's notebook, in your planner, in your journal. especially those of us that like to use a larger journal. They don't get lost within the pages, within the pockets, and you can also make them a lot smaller if you're doing mini journaling as well. But I love them. There's something so minimalistic, yet so lovely about them. Let me put them out like this so that you can see the whole calendar. It's so much fun. This was so much fun to create, you guys. 22 and then 23. Woo, we got a whole calendar here. So I created my own little version of an advent calendar. You can of course cut these up individually if you're doing December daily. I wanted to create really lovely little mini cards that had the numbers of December, but also images. Each individual little square has a different image and a different pattern, and they all have different fonts as well and different numbers. So I really hope that you guys love this. It has from the 1st of December to the 31st of December. So you have the entire month here. It doesn't just stop on Christmas. So these are the 3 little pockets that I created. One has a design on it, the other one has the warmth of December written on in typewriter, and the other one has this really lovely script. And you can just cut these out, fold them along the folded lines, fold them along the lines that I have marked, and your little calendar pieces can fit inside of these little pockets, which is just so darling. So I tried to make it as simple and easy for you guys to use. And then I also wanted to have a lot of fun and create little advent envelopes. So these are left blank where the stamp should be so that you could write the number of the day of December that you want to journal or capture in your little envelope. And then I've also created little memo sheets to go inside of there, which I just think is so cute, you guys. This one just says today. Some of them have no script, so you can use them year round, and then you can fold it in half and they fit perfectly inside of your envelope. I also ended up creating some tags just because, you know, tags, they're so cute. Can never have enough tags. And this one says right here, and then this one is blank. So you get a nice little set of those. You can fold them in half and they match with the envelope really well. So I love this, and we're actually going to be using this for the booklet that we're creating today. In reality, I'm going to be using all of this, but in particular, this is going to be the shining star of the project. All right, so to begin making our Advent booklet, what you're going to want to need is 2 papers. All right, so to begin making my Advent booklet, I'm going to start out with 1 piece of craft paper. This is 8.5 by 11. You could use craft paper, you could also use copy paper, just a normal piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. And then I'm going to take one of my printable papers, and I've cut about 1 millimeter off of each side so that you have that little border of the craft paper showing. Now this is completely optional. You don't have to have a little border around your paper. You could just cover it up completely with just this paper if you wanted to. But since I didn't print this paper double-sided, I didn't want that white stark color on the back. So this way I have a really nice warm neutral craft color. And you just want to glue the edges and the inside. You can take this to your sewing machine and stitch it if you have one. But just like with any other project, these are meant to be easy and simple. And the easiest way to create these projects is always just by using glue and scissors. You don't need any fancy machinery. We're not trying to build like a house here. It's just trying to make a nice little journal. For those of us who get a little anxious in December about journaling on a daily basis. I did it last year. I did do the December daily last year. But if you remember that video, I actually finished it in January. So I was, again, late to the December journaling. But I told myself I needed to at least try it out. And so I tried it out for the new year. I created my December journal, which I actually have right here. This was the December journal that I did. I journaled every single day in January. So even though I was documenting the month of December, I was working on this journal in January, and it's so nice. I'm really happy that I did it because I have a really lovely journal to look back on. But will I do it again like this? Perhaps not now, not when I'm so busy. Maybe in the future once my life has settled down a little bit. But the great thing is that I actually tried it, so now I know that perhaps journaling every single day in December is not for me. So it's always fun to try out new things and see if they work for you, and if they don't, at least you tried them out. So now I'm just going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it in half. So now that you have your cover made, you can then choose the inside papers. Make sure the inside papers fit within the frame of your cover, just like with any other journal. Definitely take into account the size of the booklet that you want to make. If you want to make a smaller booklet, like a pocket-sized one, then of course your papers need to match those measurements. The reason why I chose this size of a journal slash booklet is because I'm going to be putting this inside of my 2019 journal. This is the journal that you guys have seen me use, my scrap journal, and it's super, super filled, but on the very back, I have some space. Well, not even some space. I'm lying to myself. I have the back of my journal that I think would be perfect to put in this little booklet and just kind of include it in here. And then when I close my journal, it's kept inside of this ginormous little treasure trove of my memories for 2019. It makes sense to me this way, even though this book can't really have any more space. For me, in my brain, this makes more sense to me than to just start a brand new journal for December. I can just create a little booklet documenting the days that I want to in December that actually did something, and I could just pop them in here. So that's the idea with this booklet. Now, of course, if this booklet gets super chunky, which it probably will, because I like to embellish and I like to add a lot of stuff, I can always just include it on top or on the bottom and just kind of tie all of this together with just a little cotton binding, just tie it all together. So it can also do that. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, the rules, you make up your own rules when it comes to journaling. This isn't like a school, like homework. It should be something fun, and you need to adapt journaling to your lifestyle. I mean, can you imagine, like, let's just think for a second. Like, what if there's someone in this community that's a CIA agent or like a secret agent? She probably can't journal every minute of every day. So what she would probably do is have a little notebook like this that she could document the days that she's not saving the world, that she's doing something for herself. Now, of course, that's a pretty exaggerated way, but a lot of us have our own lives. And for me, I'm a student, I work, and the times that I dedicate to doing something festive or over the holidays is on the weekends when I'm with my family. So that's kind of what I mean by suiting it to your lifestyle. Of course, if you have a lovely family of kids, then you have more to journal about in the month of December. But if you're someone like me who does eventful things in December, but just not every day, then this type of method would work for you. So to show you the pages that I've chosen, of course, some antique wallpaper. All I did was took a piece of my wallpaper and I folded it in half. I will definitely secure it with some washi or masking tape just so that it doesn't break on me. Then I have some music paper that I turned into a pocket. I have some printer paper. I think this is calligraphy paper, I'm not sure. But it's really lovely. It has this nice little sky blue color. Some more book pages from a Christmas craft book. Some really lovely scrapbook paper. This was included, I think, in our paper bloom packs. I really like the contrast of the darker color as everything's more muted. Some more of that calligraphy paper. And then this was actually a scrap piece where I was putting the excess of my ledger stamp, just kind of using it as a little paper napkin, if you will. And I usually would throw this out or just chop that off and keep this, but I really liked it. I liked it for some reason. And then my random little pen scribble when you're going through pens and trying to see if it works. I always have little random pen scribbles with papers throughout my little studio. So these are the papers. You'll notice I only have 6 papers in here. So these are your little Advent envelopes. They're little envelopes that I designed so that you can print them out, cut them out, fold them along the lines, and you have a cute little envelope. I left the little stamp area bare so that you could write the day that you want to journal on, like December the 2nd or December the 25th. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be creating little pockets on the cover of my journal, kind of sporadically, to put my little envelopes in. And this way, it's going to give me some journaling prompts or some ideas for journaling on those particular pages. So I have 6 envelopes here that I printed out. There's 6 to a page. So if you want to do an envelope for every day of December, then you'll definitely have to print out more. but I just printed out one page and got 6 envelopes. You can also make your own little envelopes if you wanted to. I believe they measure about 2 inches by 2 inches, so you could just follow the measurements to make your own. So once you have your little envelopes chosen, you need to decide how you want to put them into your little journal. You could glue the envelope just like this and then use it as a tuck spot, but I actually want to treat it as a real envelope and glue the sides so that I can open it up, close it up, and put it back in. So what I need to do is create little mini pockets on the front and on the back of my journal. I think I'm going to add the little mini pockets with some of my Christmas papers. So I'm just going to cut out about 1 inch or so to each paper, and then we're going to decide where we're going to be placing our little pockets. So I just cut out strips of my decorative papers. They measure about 1 inch or so. And then I just cut my strips to create little mini pockets. Should I do 4 or should I do 6? I might do 4. I don't want to over embellish the cover, if I'm being honest. What if we put this one? Oh, that looks so pretty. I think these are the ones that I'm going to choose for the front cover. So I'm going to take my little pieces of paper and I'm just going to add the glue on the side and on the bottom. On the side and on the bottom. And then I'm just going to place it right where I want to on my cover. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then you want to repeat the same steps to your other pieces on the back cover. I don't want to add it on the corner because it's going to cover up December the 4th. And I want that to show. And depending on how big your journal is, you could of course add more of these little advent pockets, or you could do less. You could even do just one on your journal just to make it a little bit more interactive. So now we have our 2 little pockets on the front and our 2 pockets on the back. I'm just going to let that sit for a minute while the glue is drying, and I'm going to go ahead and fold 4 of my little envelopes, and then I'm going to add the glue so that they can close up and I can begin using them as little mini envelopes for my Advent journaling. So I have closed up 3 of my envelopes, and I want to show you how I close these little envelopes up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open your envelope, and you're going to want to add glue to the lower part of your envelope flaps. And I like to do it this way because I don't get any glue on the inside of my envelope. As opposed to if you had it on the inside and you applied your glue, you can risk it smearing onto the back or the inside of the back of your envelope. Then you just make sure that it's nice and closed and your envelope is ready to be used. So I have my 4 little envelopes. This is so cute, you guys. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into the little pockets. The glue has set by now. Oh wait, I'm forgetting one of the most important things. You can't have an envelope without something in it. I can't believe I almost forgot this. It's like one of the most important pieces of an envelope, to have something inside of it. So just kidding, you guys are coming back out. Alrighty, so we have a little pile of envelopes that are waiting to get filled in. I think I'm going to do, since we have 4, 2 of the tags, and I might use the ones that have the right here and the date on them. And I'm going to use the little journaling strips. This one says today, and this one says on this Christmas day. And I'm just going to fold this in half, fold these cute little tags in half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to number the envelopes. So I will probably do December the 1st, December the 10th, December the 15th, and then December the 25th. And I'm going to be putting my little journal cards inside of the envelopes. Now, of course, for the On This Christmas Day, that one will be going inside of my envelope for December the 25th. So let me take my pen. Oops, I kind of messed it up a little bit. Oh well. There we go. December the 25th. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's so tiny. So I have this envelope prepped and ready, and I'm just going to open it up and write something that I want to remember on that Christmas day. I'm going to put December the 10th, the 15th of December, which is my brother's birthday, so that's a very special day for me. And this is going to be December the 1st, which has already passed, of course. Both the 1st and the 10th have passed, but those were very special days for me in the month of December. So it's pretty much just going to be the 4 special days of December that I really want to remember. Hey, that actually rhymes! I'm turning into Dr. Seuss here for the holidays. So anywho, just like Cindy Lou Who. All right, Nazi, you gotta stop. Okay. All right, so back to our project. We have these little tags that we haven't filled. So what you could do now that you have your little envelopes, you could actually play a game of Advent with them. Let's say you want to do journal prompts. You can fill these out, so pick out 4 or 6 or 20 days of December. Fill your note papers with the note paper sheets and write a journal prompt that you're going to have to use in your journaling on that day. So I definitely want to put the 10th and the 1st on the front of my journal cover. Could this be any more precious? I'm going to put the 15th in this little pocket, and then the 25th, which is Christmas Day. What I'm going to do is, since these days have already passed, the 1st and the 10th of December, since I'm beginning this journal 2 weeks into December, the 1st and the 10th have already passed. But I remember what I did that day, since I keep a little notepad of like the things that I do every day so I could go back and journal. I'm going to put quotes that have to do with what happened that day. Both of these days were really special and important for me. So I'm going to use a quote, and then when I go to the page where I journal about it, it'll be symbolic. And then, since these 2 days haven't happened, my brother's birthday and then Christmas, I'm going to be putting a fun little journal prompt and a little challenge for me. I've also added some masking tape, kind of organically, on the spine of my journal. I kind of tore a little piece there, just so that it brings in a little bit of an organic feel to the cover and not so perfect, like with the pockets. Everything is so structured. I wanted there to be something different on the cover. And also, it's so that it reinforces the holes where I do the stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and bind my journal. I have filled my journal with some ephemera. This is an envelope from the digital pack. And then I also want to use the Advent pieces, the calendar pieces. And I want to keep them in the pockets for now. Even though I'm not going to be doing December daily, what I could do is perhaps keep these little strips intact and just write a little prompt or a quote or something that has to do with that day. If it's a day that I actually do something festive and end up doing a lot, let's say the 13th, I cut out the 13th and I add it to my page and I journal about it. If I didn't do anything, then I'll just leave the strip and journal on the back. So you can totally customize this however you want to, but I like to keep these little pieces in my journal so that they're ready for me to use. So I have my little Advent calendar pieces throughout, and then I'm also going to be journaling and decorating using all of the ephemera pieces that were included in my packs. And then also, I almost forgot, with your little Advent squares, let's say, where is the 10th? As I'm going to do a lot of journaling for the 10th. Here's the 10th. So I'm just going to cut off the 10. Probably keep the 20 and the 15th like there and then do some journaling. I'm going to keep that in the pocket. All I want to do is put it into my little pockets, and I can glue this onto my actual journal as well. I can glue my little pocket, and then I could take out the number 10 as a little surprise. So you could do so many things with all of the ephemera pieces. But for now, I'm just going to leave it blank so that I can go ahead and decorate it however I want to throughout the month of December, or what remains of the month of December. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this project. Definitely let me know if you're going to try this style of a journal out with the really cute little Advent pockets and using your envelopes to give yourself some journal prompts or to make those days in December that you do end up journaling really special and meaningful. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this project as much as I enjoyed making it. It's absolutely the cutest thing ever. Definitely send me pictures or messages of your Advent little journal books. Let me know in the comments below. You can vote yes or no if you want to see some process videos on how I decorate the inside, or if you just want to see a finished flip of the entire journal when it's finished. So definitely let me know below in the comment section. And of course, until next time, I hope that you guys have an incredible day full of peace and love, no matter where you are in the world. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye, and have a wonderful weekend.